morning and glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. I'm hoping it won't be a tricky Thursday for you. I hope things go nice and smooth as you're starting off at 6 o'clock. I'm Julia, along with Samantha Johnson, who is in for Julia this morning, and Matt, who is in for Chuck this week. And I thought things were going to be tricky starting off, but I've heard things are going to get better for us, Sam.
Yeah, Matt has promised sunshine and a little warmer temperatures than we're experiencing right now.
Yes, I promised a lot today.
You did.
We better deliver today.
You better.
I'm just saying. So yes, the sun's going to break out, will be warmer, and the wind is finally going to go away. Thank goodness. The wind actually was a good thing overnight last night in one way. It was drying off a lot of the roads as the snow was kind of melting and then just getting things a little bit wet, and we didn't have as much refreezing because the wind was so strong. A lot of our roads are wet, but I want to show you the maximum amount of snow that we had today. Hendricks County and then southern Boone County, you guys were the winners. Some back debts had, it looked like a little bit of a dusting of snow. A lot of the sidewalks, maybe a little bit of dusting. You can see more there on the grass. And even some of the rural roads and parts of Hendricks County and Boone County had a little bit of snow on them this morning. But crews have been working hard. We've had 40 to 50 NDOT plows alone, just with the state, on getting these roads, making sure they're good for you this morning. And they are really good. I mean, you may still run into a slick spot. You can't eliminate completely all the chances of those. But a lot of times the roads are just wet or they're just dry. Now you may notice your car, if it was parked outside, you may need to give it a little extra scrape because the water was on it yesterday evening and then that probably kind of froze. You might kind of have this crusty layer of a little bit of light snow there on top, but otherwise we're looking really good this morning. So that's some good news. Now we're tracking the clouds. And what's really cool is I can put a storm track. We use this for tornadoes and severe weather, but we can do the opposite for the back edge of clouds. We're expecting those clouds to break there in Marion close to 9 o'clock. Indianapolis, they're just after 9 o'clock and closer to IU 920. Ball State, we should start getting that sunshine close to about 10 o'clock this morning. Let's take a look at traffic as we're headed out the door. We talked about how the roads are doing well and we don't have any accidents as of right now. That's some really good news. I do want to show you a couple cameras because you can see a little bit of that dusting there for the Golden Bears in Shelbyville. But then in Noblesville, you know, we don't see very much. I mean, it's mainly just grassy surfaces there, and the roads are pretty dry. This is on State Road 37 as you're headed south in Noblesville, passing the Costco. But right now, everything's looking fine. We really don't have any delays headed to the airport, but the airport itself does have a couple delays that we just want to touch on real quick. Miami, New York, and Salt Lake City, they have delays, but all our other flights heading out of any international are on time.
All right, Matt, thank you. This morning, there is a pause on all fraternity and sorority social events at IU Bloomington. The university is addressing what they call health and safety concerns.
Right now, police are investigating 2 fraternities over parties that allegedly got out of hand. Anna Chalker is digging into the recent police investigations. Anna, what are you learning this morning?
Well, ladies, IU police say both of those parties happened last week at those 2 different fraternities. Let's start with 2 of those incidents that allegedly happened at Beta Theta Pi, where people told police their drinks were tampered. And another student says one fraternity member threw a full alcoholic can at his head after being denied to a party. Now, the other fraternity in this investigation is Beta Sigma Psi after more reports of tampered drinks at parties. This fraternity is now on cease and desist until further notice, and they joined several other Greek life organizations that are on disciplinary status or even suspension. And we spoke with students on campus who say they were surprised to hear about these reports.
Something no one wants to hear about, and obviously you come to college hoping that it's a place where everyone can just have fun and you know, get their education and not have to deal with, you know, scary stuff like this going on. But I guess it's kind of a hard truth that we live with.
The presidents of both the IU Interfraternity Council and Panhellenic Association released a statement saying, in part, the safety of our members and guests is our utmost concern, and we will be taking appropriate action to ensure chapter compliance with updated risk management policies from both councils, as well as a detailed action plan going forward. This pause, it'll end after spring break on IU Bloomington's campus on March 24th. And then coming up at 6:30, you'll hear from another student who says, you know, this pause might be a good thing for these Greek life organizations coming up.
Okay, we'll see you at 6:30. Thank you.
Right now, we're working to learn more about what led to a shooting outside of a strip mall on Indy's northwest side. It was last night that police responded to a call of someone shot and in critical condition near 56 and Georgetown Road. Shortly after, investigators say that another person who'd been shot showed up at a local hospital. We know that person is expected to recover. Police believe that person is somehow connected to the scene at 56 in Georgetown. We have reached out to police for any update on leads in the case, and when we hear back, we'll pass that along.
This morning, we're also checking to see if police have made any official arrests in a double homicide investigation. We first told you about this yesterday as breaking news here on 13 Sunrise. You'll remember Brownsburg police were called to a home near Main and Green Streets. Investigators say they found two men, Lucas Brearley and Zachary Johnson, dead. Both men were outside an SUV that was partially parked in a driveway on Acre Avenue. We talked to neighbors there who say they were shaken up by what they saw.
Wouldn't say, hey, don't come to Brownsburg, don't come to Andrews County, because it's still a good place to live. I mean, things happen. There's some things you just can't control, but I think we have a pretty good police force.
Right now, police say they do have a person of interest in this case, but they're asking anyone with information to call Brownsburg police right away.
In just a few hours, the man accused in a deadly shooting outside of a Texas Roadhouse restaurant on the city's south side should be in court.
That shooting happened last Friday night near Southport Road and McFarland Boulevard. Randy Godfrey is charged with the murder of Robert Smith. Metro Police say the two men started fighting inside that restaurant. That's when an off-duty IMPD officer stepped in to break it up. But police say Godfrey got away and followed Smith outside before allegedly shooting him.
Some new insight this morning on the new CEO's vision for the Indianapolis Housing Agency. This agency has been under the watch of the federal government for nearly a year because of mismanagement. Yvonne Bean officially started her new role a few weeks ago. She now tells 13 News that she is aware of the long-standing challenges at the agency, and her focus is getting things back on the right track. Bean has 2 decades of public housing experience, including the recovery of 2 other troubled agencies.
Have a demonstrated track record of being able to turn things around, and I'm looking forward to doing just that here. And I want the residents to know that I am hearing them, and we are working on things that will respond to and address a lot of the things that have been expressed as a concern.
So last April, the Department of Housing and Urban Development stepped in and took over the Indy agency. Currently, the agency and HUD are working on a 12-month plan that'll be released sometime soon.
Your time is 6:06. New immigration courts are now open in Indianapolis shortly after President Trump took office and increased enforcement efforts on illegal immigration. So now 7 courtrooms are hearing cases inside the Minton Capehart Federal Building here in Indy. Now, cameras are not allowed inside immigration court, but 13 News did get access to an individual merit hearing. Those cases center on the government charging someone with violating immigration law. Attorney Sarah Burrows says most immigrants she represents come here fleeing horrific conditions from their home countries.
So that could be safety, it could be food scarcity, it could be extreme poverty, it could be war, civil war, it could be their children can't get an education.
Now, Burrows says she is bothered by the lack of humanity she sees in attitudes towards immigrants. She also tells us these respondents are not guaranteed legal representation in immigration court.
Well, the Big Ten women's basketball tournament is happening now here in Indianapolis.
And today, the Indiana Hoosiers get their chance to make some noise in the postseason. So IU ended the regular season with an 18-11 record. That makes them the 9 seed in the Big Ten tourney. They'll take on Oregon today at noon.
And a win against the Ducks could be the boost that the Hoosiers need right now before March Madness starts and put them on the tournament bubble watch. Last year, they made it to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, they did. So the women's and men's Big Ten tournaments are here in Indianapolis this year.
The event draws thousands of fans from around the country, and Fever superstar Caitlin Clark is one of them. Not only a fan of the tournaments, but she helped take the Hawkeyes to the tourney herself. So far, Minnesota, Washington, Rutgers, Nebraska, and Wisconsin are all in action, plus Clark's alma mater, Iowa. As we mentioned, IU does get in the mix today, and Illinois, Michigan State, and Michigan are also playing. So a lot of folks from the Midwest. We talked to a group of parents whose daughters play for Washington. They say it means a lot to be able to play here in Indianapolis.
Being here where Caitlin Clark plays, our girls look up to her so much, and we're so happy for what she's done for them. And then our coaches for University of Washington love our girls. They love each other, and women's basketball is the best.
All right, so the women's championship game is Sunday. The men's tournament starts in just 1 week. Purdue and IU are both expected to play, but the men still have to wrap up that regular season, so we'll keep you updated.
Well, today, Gainbridge Fieldhouse will be filled with fans, but not for the Pacers. The Pacers are on the road in Atlanta. They're playing the Hawks.
Yeah, but here's the bad news. Right now, Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin are both listed as questionable for tonight's game. The Pacers are coming off back-to-back wins, so hopefully they can keep it going.
Tip-off is set for 7:30. Hopefully they make it back-to-back, and we'll talk about it tonight on 13 News at 11. This is for the moms and dads this morning. There's a way to save some money on gently used clothes for your kids.
Yeah, there's a children's consignment pop-up that's happening up in Noblesville. Almost 700 local families are giving their kids clothes and items a second chance, and we hear there'll be plenty of baby stuff too.
It starts with an early access day today. You do need a ticket, but then Saturday, most of the items will be half off.
Nice. So this is up at the Mojo Up Sports Complex on Bowdoin Road in Noblesville. We've got the ticket information and link for you on our website. Happening today at the State House, lawmakers and leaders from Pacers Sports and Entertainment are getting more kids excited about reading.
It is Read Across America Week. We've been talking about this for the last several days. The Indiana Teachers Association is hosting a storytelling session where legislators and some special guests get to show up and read to more than 130 fourth graders.
So those special guests include Pat Boylan, the voice of the Indiana Fever, and Eddie White, the host of the Pacers Overtime Show. That starts at 10:30 this morning. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Samantha, I've got a story for you guys. That one includes sunshine, it includes less wind, and includes warmer air. We've got all three headed your way today. The snow showers we had last night are wrapping up. They're pushing out of here. We've got another nice day, I think, today as the winds calm down, but we've got more maybe snowflakes and raindrops to track towards the west. We're going to time this out for your Friday here in just a bit.
Love that story, Matt. Thank you. This morning, several states across the U.S. are dealing with severe weather, from snowstorms, some even wildfires. At 6:45, we'll take a new look at this new weather system that's gaining strength right now.
Also this morning, strong words from President Trump if Hamas doesn't release the remaining hostages it's holding from Israel. At 6:15, the latest warning from the president.